Welcome back to the show, everyone. We are continuing our playthrough of Sakura Spirit. In the last episode, we had a heart-to-heart with Narumi in the forest after we beat the shit out of each other, and now we're walking back to the village. We walked back to the village, exchanging idle chatter. I managed to establish that while the girl was training her body well, she lacked discipline. She led me to an unfamiliar building on the outskirts of the village and quickly unlocked the door.
Welcome to my humble abode. Doesn't look like much, but I keep it tidy. You can put on one of Oji-sama's old robes if you want to, while your stuff dries.
This used to be his place before he became the village elder. I never really got rid of all of his... Wait, what?
Oh, what? Oh, they forgot to put her name in.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
This used to be his place before he became the village elder. I never really got rid of all his things. He won't even notice you're wearing his stuff. You can change in there. I'll go get something else.
Before we had a chance to get started, the sound of heavy footsteps could be heard from outside, and soon enough a young guardsman appeared at the door.
Hikage-san, there you are. We have been searching for you. Elder Sama wishes to see you right away.
Bad touch! Oh, of course, right away. Get the fuck away from me.
The guard said, hey, I had to get him in somehow.
Gah.
The guard saluted, snapped around, and took off. Narumi closed the door behind him and walked back to a clean pile of clothes. She probably feels like she needs it after getting visited from guard bad touch. Without warning, she began stripping off her clothes in front of me. My first reaction was to quickly cover my eyes with one of my hands. Narumi, however, didn't seem the bit bothered by my presence. Narumi-chan, what are you doing?
What's the matter, Takahiro? Never seen a girl in her undies before? Oh wait, you saw mine yesterday. Maybe you just never seen them on a girl.
Actually, I've seen a lot of things in my life, but never a girl stripping. What would your grandfather say if he saw you?
I don't give a shit what that old man has to say.
I stuttered as I briefly visualized how Narumi would have looked without the underwear, but quickly cleared my thought from my mind.
Well, he's not gonna find out, is he? It's nothing. We need to hurry, right? So get changed already.
It's a matter of decency. Aren't you embarrassed knowing that there's a healthy guy in the same room as you? At this rate, this and that might happen, and we're gonna be late either way.
Not really. I don't mind if it's you, Takahiro-kun.
I'm honored?
I wouldn't mind if any of my friends seeing me like this. Mio has seen me naked lots of times.
That's not really the issue here. Anyway, I quickly turned around, trying my best not to peek as she finished changing. Tell me when you're done. This kind of stimulation isn't any good for my mind.
If you quit your babbling, we'd be done already. Get your clothes off and the dry ones on.
I suddenly felt hands grab my hips from behind, and without another warning, my trousers were yanked down to my ankles. A firm kick to my rear followed, and I stumbled forwards toward the wardrobe.
Now.
You didn't have to kick me.
Yes, I did.
I had been wrong. Whether it was Tsundere, Tyrant, Narumi, Machiko, or Meiko, these girls had no common sense.
It's not fair that only you get a show.
Hey, keep your eyes to yourself. This isn't a peeping contest.
Good thing, too. I'd had no chance of winning.
Well, I admit your side certainly had the more interesting view. I mumbled as I snuck another peek at Narumi while putting on the old robes that I had found in the wardrobe. She seemed to have changed most of her clothes by now, replacing them with nearly identical dry ones. I wondered why she would have more than one set of the same clothes when it struck me. You have a strange dress code here.
Huh? What dress code? These are my clothes. Are you saying I dress strangely?
No, they just look a lot like your other clothes. And again, what do I know?
There's not a lot of options when it comes to clothes here. In cities maybe, but here you find something you look good in and you stick to it. Some folks don't even have spare clothes, so I'm pretty lucky.
I guess it would be for hard. I guess it would be hard for a tailor to find work in a small village like this. I'm guessing fabric isn't easy to come by either.
Yeah, it's never been easy. But these days it's almost impossible to convince people to come here with the spirits around. People used to pay a visit to the shrine, but lately they haven't been coming.
Makes sense. I don't think many would be willing to risk their lives, peddling goods to some small village, knowing wild spirits might attack.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna need some help here, Takahiro-kun. Are you done yet?
Yep, I just finished. What do you need help with?
My wrap came loose. Can you pull it back and tighten it for me? I've never been able to get it right on my own. Then wear a bra.
As she said that, she pulled her top up, presenting her back to me. You want me to do it? Feeling slightly embarrassed at the thought, I tried my best to keep my thoughts pure as I took... I can't even say that with a straight face. I tried my best to keep my thoughts pure as I took hold of the end of the wraps and helped pull them back, tying them into place. I quickly made sure they were neither too tight nor too loose. How would he know?
Come on, be a man. Just pull it tight and tie it.
A little
I imagine he'd have experience, with martial arts training and shiz.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. A little surprised at her reaction, I decided to just do as she said and pulled it even tighter than I had previously, securing it with a sigh. This isn't good for my heart.
There, that wasn't so hard. Come on, let's hurry. Oh, you look good, like a handsome young businessman.
I look more like a monk than a businessman. Smiling weakly, I quickly followed after Narumi, who was already in a hurry to leave the house. We dashed across the village to the elder's house, Narumi grabbing a weapon along the way. When we got there, we heard shouting and exchanged worried glances before pushing through the door.
Halt, villain! Oh my.
Prepare your... did we cross into a different dimension?
Stop it, stop it, stop it! Never! I'm going to vanquish you!
The scene that lay before us was unlike anything I had ever seen. In one corner, Meiko was cuddling a large empty bottle, sleeping and giggling to herself. At the back of the room, the village elder was hitting a large casket with a lock on it while grumbling to himself. In the center of the room, Machiko lay pinned to the floor by Mio, who was tickling her mercilessly. Naruchan, help me with this. The chest is locked and all the sake is trapped inside and suffocating. We need to rescue it immediately.
Oh, jeez, they're drunk. Takahiro-kun, can you stop those two?
This wasn't the battle I was expecting. I nodded my head in confirmation to Narumi's request, and I turned toward the two girls on the floor, trying to decide how best to deal with them. With both of them drunk, it would probably have been easy enough to get Mio to release Machiko. But before I had a chance to intervene, the two girls roughhousing on the floor caused them to bump into the table, knocking over a bottle of sake onto the both of them.
Oh, I'm all wet now. You spilled the sake. Oh, stupid.
The girl pushed herself upright, flailing like a spoiled child before turning tail and running through the door. God, who knows what she might do. Naru-chan, please go get her. In this state, she'd only make stupid advances at me.
Right, she's probably gonna make stupid advances at me too, but whatever.
As Narumi ran off to retrieve the drunken fox girl, I was left to take care of the remaining few. Mio-san, you need to come with me. We need to get you into something clean.
You just want to see me naked.
What? No, I am not a pervert. Why does everyone seem to think that? I mean, yes, I do want to see boobs, but I have my honor, damn it.
Nope, I'm not going to do anything you tell me to. I'll stay right here and swim in sake.
I looked down at the woman who was indeed trying to swim in the tiny puddle of sake on the floor. Taking a deep breath, I prepared myself. Tsundere Chief, enemies have been sighted near the hot springs. Their numbers are about to overwhelm us. We need reinforcements right away. I came up with the bluff on the spot, hoping it would get Mio out of the room.
What? We have to vanquish all of them at once. Come on, private pervert, to the hot springs.
But aren't we supposed to defend? Before I had time to finish my sentence, Mio had me dragged to the entrance of the building by the collar of my robe.
No! Attack! Attack! Get to the hot springs and attack! I'll be there soon.
And with that, she shoved me through the door with a hefty kick, the door slamming shut behind me. My hearing wasn't perfect, but I could have sworn I heard a yelp and a tumble following Mio's departure. A A large open area lay ahead of me, closed off by a tall bamboo fence. There was also a small area off to the side for more delicate washing. Sighing to myself, I began to tidy up the place a little, removing sharp objects and small obstacles that the drunken woman might injure herself with, and I waited. 5 minutes went by before I heard the door open and close, followed by the gentle slosh of someone stepping into the water of the hot spring.
Ah, the water's great. Hurry up and get in.
Whatever happened to attack? I turned around expecting her to be standing in the water with her clothes on. However, the sight that waited me was far from what I would have expected from the tsundere tyrant. There was no katana slicing through the air or any harsh words being shouted. Instead, an attractive-looking girl wearing a simple towel had decided to take a seat in the hot water. Mio-san? Whether it was the result of the drinking or not, the warm smile she showed me caused me to pause.
Care to join me?
I don't think...
Ugh, get in the water.
Yes, ma'am! I quickly moved closer to the water, nearly slipping on the wet tiles, before I made my way in. I folded up my robe but kept the towel I had found around my waist. Today's been pretty busy, huh? The last thing I expected was for all of you to gulp down some sake like a baby drinks its milk. The girl said nothing for a while, regarding me with a faint grin on her face. It made me nervous. I would almost rather have had her shouting and angry.
You don't slack off, do you? I can tell that you train a lot.
Huh? Briefly caught off guard by her comment, I quickly gathered my thoughts and nodded in return. Well, I practice judo, so it's natural for me to train my body a lot. I'm sure the same can be said of you, Mio-san. I mean, you look, rather feminine, but I could tell you knew how to handle a sword. That shows diligence and talent, but above all, experience. You started young, didn't you?
I did.
She leaned back against the rocks and let out a sigh.
Took me a long time to become competent with a blade. Days and nights of endless training, regardless of wind and weather, all in order to toughen myself up to make myself strong enough. It's horrible knowing nothing of your early life. Just turned up here in rags. The guards found me out in the woods one day while on patrol, starving and dirty. The previous village elder took pity on me and took me in. Everything went well for a while. Narumi's family took me in, treated me like one of their own. Then everything fell apart. Seeing the village that had taken me in, fed me, clothed me, giving me shelter, suffering at the hands of spirits. I couldn't take it.
As she spoke, she let out another sigh. It seemed the alcohol was making her a bit more talkative than usual, which wasn't a bad thing. I just hoped I wouldn't end up paying for it once she had sobered up.
After that, I felt like I had to do something. I couldn't just sit by while everything fell apart around me. The village was devastated by the fires. On that day, I pleaded with the former chief of the guard to train me, to make me stronger. I wanted to protect the village, to protect Narumi at any cost. He eventually agreed, but told me that I would need to strengthen my resolve first.
And that's why you became
You can say it.
a tsundere tyrant?
I don't know what tsundere means, but the tyrant part isn't far off. I didn't want to drive everyone away, least of all Narumi. And don't you mean hard ass? But I had to, in order not to feel the pain of loss again. Spirits haven't been our only problem. Bandits, beasts, and the weather. The village needed protecting from all of it. It became a purpose, and it made me distance myself from everyone else.
I guess that explains why you've been acting like that around Machiko and Meiko.
That's right, although I'm beginning to think that perhaps we can coexist. The fox spirits, at least. I suppose this has something to do with you, so, thank you.
You're welcome. It's not like I did all that much, though.
I mean it, truly. You and the sisters. You may have saved me a life from living in fear. Perhaps even prevented my death.
I think you better tell them that. You're right, especially considering what comes next.
Huh? What do you mean?
The girl's words were becoming incoherent, muttering something about spirits in the village. It seemed like fatigue was finally taking its toll. Well, the other spirits probably won't be leaving the village alone anytime soon. We're gonna have to figure out how to stop them. but asking Mayoko-chan and Chico-san to help us is like asking you to turn on Narumi-chan.
Turn on.
Ugh, the girl giggled at this for quite some time, so I let out a sigh and coughed politely. What I meant was, they'll have to fight against their own kind at some point.
No, man. Turning Narumi-chan on is easy. You just have to poke her nipples.
I mean, why would they want to help you guys out in the first place? I think you and Narumi-chan will be the pieces we need to solve this puzzle. And we better figure out what to do soon. I doubt those spirits will hold back next time.
You sound like it's some kind of game. That's not nice.
As she said this, the girl slid further down into the water. It's a bit easier to think of it like that, though. The moment they get ahead of us, it's game over. If you and Narumi-chan fix things between the villagers and the sisters, things might work out. You'll have to get as close to them as possible.
But I don't like girls like that.
The girl became incredibly flustered by my comment, having misunderstood what I had said.
Methinks she doth protest too much.
Yeah. If her mind immediately jumps to that... Before I could explain, she slumped over, her cheeks a deep crimson red. As I tried to move closer, it became clear that she had passed out. The heat had probably gotten to her. Just my luck. She had to pass out wearing nothing but a towel. I swear, someone up there is testing my patience with all these temptations. Sighing in annoyance, I carefully wrapped my arms around the girl and pulled her out of the water. Realizing that leaving Mio here would be a bad idea, I thought about what to do when Narumi came barging in.
Takahiro-kun, I heard you were in here. I managed to... Whoa! What's going on here?
We will tell Narumi what's going on in here in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you tomorrow for another one.
How's that for a cliffhanger?
It's what I'm good at.
Boobs. Every episode.